Yeah. Lord Brunson back at you with the back at you, and I am the best reporting on the Eagles. Listen, man, shout out to y'all for hopping on that Luke Mogul, man. Listen, man, y'all done risen y'all guy to top of the ranks and all of their influencer pools. Let me let y'all know why that's so crazy to me, why that's so dope. Number one, it's like the second place dude is a professional basketball player. The guy in third place is a professional football player. You know what I'm saying? We up there with professional athletes, man. In terms of hopping on the app, busting out this quick trivia, trying to win some bread, and you know what I mean, and supporting your guy, man. You know what I'm saying? A bunch of people won some money by playing my trivia game. Make sure you do it. You know what I mean? It's like you don't have to wait once a week. How you got to do for Flick Chat, for instance, when they was doing the pick'ems. You ain't gotta wait once a week for that. This is anytime you want. You know what I'm saying? Hop on that, give yourself a crack at this bread, man. Shout out to the people at Luke Mogul, and definitely shout out to y'all, cause I wouldn't be number one on the app if it wasn't for y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? Other words, man. Jeffrey Lurie. Man, you know what I'm saying? Let me tell y'all something real quick, man. An ideal job for me, for this being my hobby, would be to report on the Philadelphia Eagles inside that building. You know what I'm saying? Be like Merrill Reese when it's all said and done. A legend in his own right, talking this Eagles football. That's ideal for me, man. But in times like this, I'm glad I'm not right now. Not because the teams think I would turn the job down, but because I would be very uncomfortable I'll be very uncomfortable with the things that I would have to say about the owner right now. I would. Seth Joyner, all those dudes that report on the Eagles all year. I'm waiting to hear what they got to say. Brian Westbrook. See, you know what I'm saying? In one way, shape, form, or the other, they are pretty much paid by Jeffrey Lurie. They talking about his brand. Some way, somehow, the money rolled down. Jeffrey Lurie is paying, these direct analysts and reporters of the Philadelphia Eagles. He paying them. And they got the job this week of having to be really harsh on some of the stuff that he was saying. He sounded worse than Jerry Jones. I'm not going to lie to you. If it was my first week watching football, I would say that Jeffrey Lurie is a worse owner than Jerry Jones. No cap. I mean, it was despicable. I mean, where do you start? Where do you pause and where do you end? Almost everything he said was just ridiculous, in my opinion. And the blatant non-punishment for Howie Roseman year in and year out is kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy, man. Howie Roseman is not a general manager. Howie Roseman is an accountant. I'm telling you, Lurie got Howie Roseman there because at the end of the day, when the yearly numbers come in, look, boss, I saved you this. I made you this. He's able to do that, man. That's why he's in the building. Howie Roseman is probably one of the only GMs that can wiggle his capologism, and fix this cap space situation going into the next year. Because it ain't going to look as bad as y'all think it's going to look. Because Howie nice with the cap. Let's just call a spade a spade. Howie real good with the cap. You know what I'm saying? Let's call a spade a spade. He ain't 100% bad, but drafting, he's horrible at. He's horrible at everything else besides managing the cap. And for Jeffrey Lurie to not look for another capologist, look, man, you probably could find a guy coming out of Harvard, a mathematician who could do what Howie Roseman is doing. You just have him behind the scenes, and then you have your GM behind the scenes as well. Have you advisors like Jerry Jones got. You better off doing that. Just have a bunch of advisors around. You know what I'm saying? At least Jerry Jones spend bread. Jerry Jones spend the bread. He take the best player available. At least Jerry Jones really, really rolling the dice and giving himself a chance, man. Basically year in and year out. Nobody we drafted since Carson Wentz looks as good as CeeDee Lamb at their position respectively. Nobody. Carson Wentz had to win the division last year with a bunch of Division III wide receivers it looked like at times. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. And then this is one of the things that really got me, man. One of the things is that they're blaming missing. They're blaming missing on a lot of these picks in the draft because the other teams took the guys that they really wanted. Come on, bro. We could count down a list of the guys you passed over in the first round alone. In the first round alone. I'm not going to say, oh, y'all had a chance for Devontae Adams one year. I think he went like in the 4th round. I'm talking about first round talent that you skimmed over to basically pick up a bus. Come on, bro. You know it's crazy when Nelson Aguilar, one of your best first round picks in like the last 10 years, bro. You know it's crazy, man. But it is what it is, man. You know, Howie Roseman is just simply the worst. And for Jeffrey Lurie to come out of his mouth and look in that camera and tell us that our draft picks have been poor because other teams took the players that they really wanted is ridiculous to me, man. That was one of the worst ones. This is also another crazy one that he said, man. He was, listen, do y'all realize that Howie Roseman is on his 3rd search for a head coach? Howie Roseman is on his 3rd search for a head coach. That's unheard of, bro. I never heard of another GM having, he got input on this hire. He got input on this upcoming hire. Never heard of this in all my years, a GM being around that long for that many coaches to be fired. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I ever heard of it, man. I don't think I ever heard of it, man. Jeffrey Lurie was just saying some of the most outlandish stuff. Like, he said something along the lines that, we got to give our draft picks time. It's too early to call some of our draft picks fails. How? Justin Jefferson alone, bruh. I thought DK Metcalf was bad. I did. Did y'all see how much of a DK Metcalf guy I was? I thought DK Metcalf was bad, bruh. I really did. I thought it was bad. Then it get worse the next year. Dude break Randy Moss record, and we skipped over him and took Jalen Reagor. Man, Jalen Reagor might be a bust already. Mac Hollins was a bust. Arcega-Whiteside is a bust. Jalen Reagor is a bust. It's too late for Arcega-Whiteside to not be a bust. I understand some players come on year 3, year 4. That's when they start finding themselves. I understand that happens. But when you a 2nd round pick, with the number of snaps that you got, bust. We doing our bust. We doing our own busted challenge. We got our own. You know what I mean? We birth buses. That's what we do. That's what we do, man. And you gonna sit here and tell me some of these other guys it's too early? Brandon Ayuk, Claypool. It's so many wide receivers in their first year that did things that the wide receivers in our group won't be able to do. Because they first year already passed. Come on, man. We don't got a wide receiver on our roster built for 11 touchdowns. Man, I think Claypool got that as like a 2nd option. We don't got nobody built for what Jefferson did. Come on, bruh. How you pass up on a dude that could take over the aerial attack from Adam Thielen, man, in his first season? Howie Lurie said some stuff in that presser that was alarming to me, man. I'm like, man, is he really better than Jerry Jones? Is he really better than Jerry Jones as an owner? At least Jerry Jones got the testicular fortitude to just take everything over. He not going to have some accountant running the show. It's an accountant who is seemingly excused from punishment. It's crazy to me, man. It's crazy to me. And listen, Jeffrey Lurie, man, that didn't make us feel good about going into next season. It didn't. It didn't make us feel good about where the state of the franchise going. It didn't do that, man. We're going to end up, listen, man, I'm telling y'all, we're going to end up the Philadelphia, let me find something. We're going to end up the Philadelphia goddamn used napkins. We're going to end up the Philadelphia used napkins. I'm going to tell you why. Because somebody going to buy this damn team, you know what I'm saying, and change the name and move them to another city. Lurie got to tighten up. Lurie don't want to be the owner that the Philly fans don't like. You don't want to be that owner, Lurie. Because we care. Listen, there's no other professional sport in that city that we care more about than Eagles football. Facts. It's time for Jeffrey Lurie to tighten up, man. It's time for him to tighten up. They looking at the 49ers, defensive coordinator, Robert Saleh. They looking at Lincoln Riley. And there was another name, I think one of the Titans offensive coordinators. You know what I'm saying? Looking at a bunch of guys for the head coach vacancy. And rightfully so, you got to look at a lot of people, man. Real quick on Doug's firing, you know what I'm saying? I had another day to soak in what really happened. And I think it was an unjust firing. I do, man. I think it was an unjust firing, man. The root denominator in all this is Howie Roseman, and Howie should have been gone before Doug was gone. Period. Howie should have been gone before Doug was gone. You know what I'm saying? But with all the coaches that's available right now, give me the dude from San Fran, man. The dude from I'm gonna tell you why. The dude from San Fran, Robert Saleh. I'm sorry if I'm getting his name wrong. I don't know other people coaching staff, but Robert Saleh, you know what I'm saying? I from what I seen from him, man, he gets that defense fired up. Them dudes be fired up and ready to go over there, man. At all times, them dudes be fired up and ready to go. And that's what we need, man. We need somebody that's going to be able to motivate a room full of men, if nothing else. Because a lot of times, I saw the lack of motivation. But let me know what y'all think in the comments.